Let us discuss about phase 2, website planning. Planning is the very important phase of the website. Using the information gathered from the phase 1 requirement analysis, it is time to put together a plan of your website. This planning phase is the point where a site map is developed. Before designing a website, it is necessary to do a proper planning for building a website. The following are the basic steps need to be performed during the planning phases of website. Define your target audience, organize your content, create a directory structure, that is sitemap, create a sketch of the pages you intended to create. So, once done on the planning phase, the outcome will be that software requirement specification document, which is the main output of the planning phase. And also that phase, this will suggest the decided and finalized technologies, and also its the outcome will be the high level diagram, that is front end graphic user interface, back end database and their relationship diagram details, and then environment details like IAS server or JSP server and their interface methods. Also a detailed planned document which shows the detailed scheduling and their cost estimation details. Another outcome is the web development team will decide and finalize the technologies for design, develop and test the implementation environment. See, now just I will show a sample web technology diagram which has the four main component, which is the client side, where the client or users, they will use the which browsers they will use or which device, either it could be computer or desktop or mobile, okay, and from that place, and they will use that URL of that website. That website is connected to the internet component. That internet component, how it will talk? It will talk to the parser of the web server. Then there is the operating systems. From that place, that it interact with the various technologies like either applications and web server and the support server. So these components are involved in web technology diagram. This is also one of the main outcome of the planning documents. This is another high level architecture diagram which is for ASP.NET and C# framework for website development. From this diagram, WPF, Windows Presentation Foundation, and another one is important, WCS, which is called Windows Hard Space, and also like the framework they are using communication foundations, Windows communication foundations and also Windows workflow foundations or need to be followed. Once it is done, now we can move into phase 3, which is website designing. The most important reason for website designing is that it gives you the opportunity to express your likes and dislikes on the site design. In this phase, communication between both web designer and stockholder is crucial to ensure that the final website will match your needs and taste. It is important that you work closely with your designer, exchange ideas until you arrive at final design of your website. So, website design principles play vital roles for web designing phase. So, in this record, we will learn more about the basic design principle that you will apply to web page design. Website design principle: well designed web page will take less development time. Some of design elements are explained here so that you can apply when you design your web pages effectively. Design for the medium: the output of designing a website will display in computer screen, not printed the pages. A web page designer, you must create web pages especially for the computer screen. You must consider the layout, font and colors and how they will appear. As a developer, you must consider the non-linear structure of hypertext and create appropriate links and associations into information. Make them feel comfortable at your site by letting them know where they are and where they can go. Another important key principle is look and feel. The interface that user must navigate often is called look and feel of a website. They read text, make association with links, view graphics, and depending on the freedom of your design, create their own path through your information. The look and feel is both the way your website works and the personality it conveys to the user. Not only should you plan for the deliberate look and feel, but you must test your design against the variable nature of the web. You want to ensure that the greatest number of users can navigate your site reliably. Another principle is make your design portable. Website design must portable and accessible across different browsers, operating systems, computer platform, devices like mobiles. So your design should be more portable. Many designers make the mistake of testing is only one environment, assuming that their package look the same to all users. No matter how web design experience you gain, always remember to test even when you feel confident of your result. So once you develop one applications, you need to test with various browsers and various devices, and their output should ensure that all deliverables. The following figure show some page display in Google Chrome version 71.0 64-bit and Internet Explorer version 11. This page is coded with standard cascading style sheet code that Internet Explorer. So, the design does not appear as the designer intended to, especially font size. Viewing your pages in the browser, your users are likely to have using popular operating system, and checking the site on more than one computer platform ensure your site will be accessible to the greatest number of users. Let us see the components of websites. While you create a new website or modification of existing website, it is important to understand the characteristics that can make or break the effectiveness of your website. Let us discuss about important components involved in making successful website. Components of web accessibility. The World Wide Web Consortium, in short form it is called W3C, is an international community has developed the website accessibility components. According to W3C, web accessibility depends on several components working together, and how improvements in a specific component could substantially improve web accessibility. It is essential that several different components of web development and interaction work together in order for the web to be accessible to the people with disabilities. So, we have to focus on the disabilities also, because they may not read all the text. So, what you have to do as a designer and as a solution provider, you have to think in different way. That component include content, the information in a web page or web application which is including natural information such as text, images and sounds, and code or markup that defines structure and presentation, etc. Web browsers, media players and other user agents, that's also play important role. So that it's recommended to use assistive technology. In some areas, screen readers, alternative keyboards, switches, scanning software, etc. might be used while you design and development. Then also think about users' knowledge need to be considered, their experience and in some cases adaptive strategies using the web. Another important, the component of developers always concentrate on designers, coders, others, etc., including developers with disabilities and users who contribute the content. And authoring tools, there are so many authoring tools which are the components that also need to be considered, that software create the website using various authoring tools. There is evaluation tools, web accessibility evaluation tools, which is our HTML validator, CSS validator, etc. need to be adapted. And web developers usually use authoring tools and evaluation tools to create the web content. People, that they are the users, use web browsers, media players, assistive technologies and other user agents to interact with the content. Based upon these principles, the component of web pages are: all web pages look and feel are different in according to the business nature and their approach, what they contain and their message. However, they all very similar elements or bit of slight changes as per their business requirement. The following list of rows in table provides mostly used component in web pages. Web page component and their description you can see on the table. Table are useful for presenting information. You want to display the grid format such as calendar, or in spreadsheet such as financial data. Availing HTML with CSS feature will produce the good result and reusable codes. Images are used in web pages to support that themes of the web page and to provide a visual impression. Images may be a picture or scanned photograph, or images prepared using Photoshop or any drawing tool, or may be downloaded from another website. Most of the browsers support JPEG extension. It is called as JPEG, Joint Photographic Expert Group image format, and bitmap.bmp, and another files or graphic files are .zip and TIFF or high memory files, but JPEG file is usually faster. JPG is the files are more compact and optimized for download process from web page. Buttons are actually images with text on them that provide a means to navigate from one location to another location. Buttons may be created in a draw, a program, or downloaded from other website. Another important component, color. The use of color in a web page may make the page more legible and interesting to read, or it may make the web page ugly and difficult to read. CSS properties to allow authors to specify the foreground color and background color of an element. Backgrounds may be a colors or images. Menu bar are features on web page that provide links to other pages for easy navigation between the pages. Menu bars may contain button, maybe images, or they may be created as a table, or they may be a text based with divider lines. Text. For most web pages, text is the important component. Text is used to present your ideas, instructions, and or to drive home your point. Just like a word processor, the size of the text may be changed as well as its color, style and font. Horizontal lines. Horizontal lines are used to break up or separate part of a web page. They may be used to separate different topics or to show the end of the page. Links. The power of the web is in its branching capabilities, the ability to go to another site or created by another author and one that support the task at hand. Link provide branching options. Link are jump starts to another web page. A link may take to the user to another site. Links typically displayed in blue before they are used and in shade or red after the link is accessed. Example, internal link or external link. Internal link means within the page or within the website. External link, it's outside the website, maybe like referring like different website URL of another website. Frames. HTML frames allow authors to present document in multiple views, which may be independent windows or sub windows. Multiple views offer designer a way to keep certain information visible, while other views are scrolled or replaced. For example, within the same window, one frame might display a static banner and a second navigation menu and the third main document that can be scrolled through the or replaced by navigating the second frame. Once the design task is completed, then we can go for web designing site. So, website designing is very important, which are based upon the design principles and their website components. The development team will prepare the following, that is prototype design documents. Then you have to work closely with your designer, exchanging ideas until you arrive the final design from your website. In this designing phase, you have to finalize the development environment and their architecture, that is the detailed design documents, development and testing strategies. Then initiate the phase 4 for web development. Well, like when we are ready for website development, then this phase is called real development stage. Content rating involves also creations of home page, headlines, text editings, writing new text, compiling the existing text, etc., which takes the time effort. It is better when all website content is provided before or during the website coding. So, the coding implementation is happen only this development stage only, development space only. In this development space, development team will do the programming, real coding work as per graphic user interface and their database choices. Appropriate application program interface, that is on APIs, are used and implemented in this phase only. Frameworks and their CMS, content monitoring system, will be implemented to make sure that server can handle the installation and setup smoothly. They implement the quality guidelines, the valid HTML and CSS code that complies the current web standards, as well as accessibility for large an audience as possible. These are need to be focused on this web development space. Once it's done, now we are ready to go for phase 5, which is on the testing space. After completion of the development phase, now the another step is on website testing phase. This is very important, and all the functionality testings and unit testings need to be performed on this phases. Functionality testing and a page unit wise testing need to be done. Every single link should be tested to make sure that there are no broken ones, one link to another links, and the continuous flow of the applications. You should check every script, run a spell checking software to find out possible typos, and also the transaction is happened successfully based upon that flow diagram which is done on the design part. Use code evaluators to check if your code follows the current web standards. Valid code is necessary for example if cross browser compatibility is important for you. Also check that this is working on various mobiles with various operating systems. After your check, to recheck your website, it is time to upload it to your server, and FTP, file transfer protocol software, is used for that purpose. After you deployed the files, you should run again for one more test, final test, to be sure that all your files have been installed correctly. Get your stakeholder opinion. Once the testing is over, then you can go for testing and deployment is over, concentrate on website maintenance phase, that is the last phase. Get your stakeholders opinion and keep regular updating of your websites from time to time. Feedback system ordered to the site will allow you to detect possible problems the end user face. The highest priority task in this case is to fix the problem as fast as you can. Note, the another important thing is keeping your website is up to date. If you use a CMS, then regular updates will prevent you from bugs and decrease security risk. Now, let us summarize this session, what we discussed about. We discussed the difference between static and dynamic website. We discussed website requirements in details. We also discussed about website design principles at detail level. We covered the various phases of website development life cycle, that is website requirement analysis, design, development, implement, testing and maintenance phases. With this, I conclude this session. Thank you.